to the Binge List. I am your host, Paul Chappell, and we are recapping Mandalorian Season 2. This is Episode 3, Chapter 11, the Heiress, and it was a pretty impressive episode. It was fun. It was action-packed. It was everything I want out of this series. It almost makes up for that last episode, which kind of went nowhere. But now I see it was just set up for this episode because at the very beginning, we see Mando's ship limping toward Trask, an ocean planet inhabited by the Mon Calamari. He touches down on this spaceport, and you think he's going to stick the landing. At the very last second, he ditches into the ocean, and it made for a little bit of humor there, and it established that Mando is not going to have any transportation in this episode, and that's going to put him in a predicament because tell me if you see a little pattern here. Mando gets a lead on something he wants. In this case, he wants to find some other Mandalorians. He is being taken to whatever objective he's seeking, and he's double-crossed or ambushed. But usually it's a double-cross that he's able to fight his way out of. This time, it doesn't look like he's going to fight his way out of this. The people that he's traveling with, these aliens are on this ship in the middle of the ocean, and they don't really want the child in this scenario. They're actually after his armor, the best scar that he's wearing. It looks like it's very lucrative. And at the last second, when all hope is lost, what happens? 3 Mandalorians swoop down and save Mando from certain destruction. Mando has what he's been looking for, right? This just fell into his lap. He has a bunch of Mandalorians to help him on his quest, but before he knows what to think, all the Mandalorians take off their helmets, and he's immediately suspicious because, as we know, or we've been led to believe up to this point in the series, you cannot be a Mandalorian and take off your helmet with this sort of ease. So we look at the leader of the Mandalorians, and it's Bo-Katan. In case you watch the Clone Wars, you know who this character is. She's a very important character. She was once ruler of Mandalore, and she was the leader of something called the Night Owls, and she's from the more pacifist discipline of the Mandalorians. And she tells Mando that he's from a sect called the Children of the Watch. Now that kind of confused me because I thought she was also part of the Watch at some point, but I digress. We don't really need to go down that rabbit hole. Suffice to say, Mando does not trust this group of Mandalorians, but they have information he needs. She may or may not know the location of a Jedi, which I will get to in a moment. First of all, she enlists Mando's help in raiding an Imperial ship that is moving weapons in this system. And Mando agrees to help them. And they have a great sequence raiding this Imperial vessel. And I won't get too deep into it. Go watch it if you haven't already. It's really fun. It's terrific. There's a lot of action. It's just great from start to finish. Suffice to say, Bo-Katan fulfills her side of the bargain and tells Mando where he can find a Jedi. What Jedi, you say? Well, you know, from my other shows, I've always said that in this timeline, most of the Jedi are dead. We know that Luke Skywalker and Leia are pretty much the only Jedis left, but I would be wrong about that because I have forgotten, or maybe I didn't know at the time. I don't think Clone Wars had ended, but we know Ahsoka Tano is actually alive and well. And according to Bo-Katan, she is on a planet called Corvus in the city of Calodan. So Mando now has the information he's looking for. And with that, the episode ends. So let's get to the Easter eggs. Number 1, Katie Sackhoff, who's the voice of Bo-Katan in the Clone Wars, returns to do the live action version of Bo-Katan. I thought that was great. Has this ever happened in the history of anything that a voice actor gets to play the live action version of the same character? I thought that was this kind of blew my mind there. The second Easter egg would be this callback that they make to The Empire Strikes Back when they're on this Imperial vessel. Mando finds out that Bo-Katan doesn't really just want the weapons on the ship. She wants the ship itself because she plans to use this in her fight against these last remnants of the Empire. Number 3 is Bryce Dallas Howard. The director of the episode is, of course, the daughter of Ron Howard. She also directed an episode last season, and she did a really good job. You might know Bryce Dallas Howard. She played Gwen Stacy in the original Spider-Man trilogy, and she was in those Jurassic World movies. So she is both a director and actress, and I was kind of skeptical of her skills just because, you know, she obviously didn't get her directing gig in a legit way. She is a daughter of a pretty prominent director, so who has also done his own Star Wars movie, and that is the Solo movie. But I digress. She did a great job. I didn't have a real problem with this episode. It's probably the best episode I think they've had in this series, and it was directed by a woman. Number 4, the Darksaber is mentioned by name, and it is very important because Bo-Katan is after it. And why is she after it? Well, as I said before, Bo-Katan used to be the ruler of Mandalore, and part of being ruler of Mandalore is that you must wield the Darksaber. So she needs the Darksaber. I think she lost it sometime after the Clone Wars. There was a great purge of Mandalore by the Empire, and at some point she lost the Darksaber. We know that Moff Gideon has the Darksaber, and it will be something that is contested in some future episode, and maybe, just maybe, a spin-off series. Because I've heard rumors that they may actually do another spin-off since the Mandalorian is doing so well. So I don't know how true that is. This episode just opened up so many possibilities with this reveal, this connection to the Clone Wars. They can pretty much do anything, and I think it will work. Number 5 Easter egg is the fact that I firmly believe that Moff Gideon's remnant of the Empire is the precursor to the First Order. And why did I say that? Well, his officers seem to be fanatical, just like the First Order, when he tells this officer on this ship that the Mandalorians are raiding to kill himself. He does it. He kills his pilots, and he points the ship toward the planet and tries to crash it. And when he can't do that, when he's thwarted from crashing the ship, he just takes a suicide pill and kills himself. So I like that reveal because it just showed me, yes, they are really thinking about how this connects to the broader universe. And it's really impressive. So I just look forward to see how they are going to build it, because we know that the showrunner of the Clone Wars, Dave Filoni, is involved. We already know that Jon Favreau has a deep love of Star Wars. He's been throwing out these Easter eggs in every episode of first season and second season, and they've just taken from all these different sources, and it's all this wondrous stuff for the fans. And now we have this bigger universe that has been opened up for the world to see. And I just can't wait to see what they have planned. But that's all I got for today. I'd like to thank my subscribers and encourage you. Hit that subscribe button. Give me a like. Give me a comment. Is there anything I missed? Is there anything that you enjoyed about this episode that I didn't even mention? Let me know in the comments. Ring that bell if you all haven't already, so you know when my next video drops. And I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching.